Hey guys, it's StarsFreak2191 back here with another YouTube video. So in this video I'm going to be showing you a tutorial on DeluxeChat, which is a chat formatting plugin. So it does require Placeholder API. So yep, that's basically all it requires. I'm going to be showing it with permissions X and all these plugins right here and give you little examples. I probably will leave a example config in the description below, how you can get things set up. So if I were to chat, this is a default configuration with all these plugins. So you're going to see that says player underscore name and it doesn't show my name. So a way to fix that, since it doesn't have Placeholder API doesn't have the player placeholder installed by default, so you do /pappy ecloud download and then player. So then if I were to do /pappy reload and then I did hi, as you can see, it shows my name. So, now you might be asking, like, how am I supposed to get my prefix in there? So let me create a group real quick. So, PEX group, default, create, well, we already have a default group. So, let me just create a group, member, create. Oh, don't have enough permissions. So, just start, okay. So if we do PEX group member create, and then we do PEX group member prefix, and then let's do and7 member. And I don't think we need to do a space. If I were to say hi, it doesn't show still, because for some reason there's a bug in DeluxeChat, which I do not know if it's going to be fixed. Where, in the current version anyways, where it won't give you the default group by default when it should. So, I'm going to do PEX group, member, add, chat format dot default. So, I will leave, like, the permissions on the top left of your screen, so around over here somewhere. I'll leave all the permissions that you would need for it. So there's a few permissions, but so since we have that, we should be able to type. Well, we're not in a group. So PEX user StarsFreak, which is my name, set member, and then if I were to say hi, so it says vault underscore group. It's not showing because we don't have the vault placeholders installed. So if I do pappy ecloud download vault, and then /pappy reload, now if I say hi, it'll say member. Now, that might be the one that you want to use because it's actually just taking group name. It's not actually giving the prefix. So, I'm going to show you how you can actually change that. So, let's go to DeluxeChat. Let's go to messages.yml. I do recommend you use Notepad++ for editing, at least if you're editing at home. So, I just opened the wrong one. So we go to config, so we have the member, so there's the format, this is the default format. So priority, so the higher the priority, the less it overrides. So the lower the priority, the more it overrides. So let's see, we wanted to fix our group format to look something a lot nicer. So I'm going to change it to, let's change it to user prefix, because that's what I usually use, just to get the prefix. So if we have like a color for our prefix or something, let's change these to a different color. We'll change that to that. I'm going to show you how you can actually create other formats. So there's a default format. I can show you how to create another format. So player name, that's fine. Let's change that to that. And then chat color, let's make it gray, I guess. So the prefix, so channel tooltips, that's if you're running bungee cord. I do not have bungee cord set up, so I will not be doing a tutorial on that right now. I might eventually do a tutorial on bungee cord when I actually get that set up. But this is what that channel tooltip is. So the prefix tooltip, so that's pretty much, so if I were to hover over where member is, that's the prefix. Name toolfix, that's that. And then suffix, if there's a suffix, and that's where I would put my suffix toolfix. So for instance, right here. So I'm going to put, so let's say, hi, this is the name tooltip. And then if you want to say your balance is or something, your balance is, and we're going to do vaults underscore eco underscore balance, and then the suffix tooltip, let's just put essentials underscore, and what essentials should we have? Is underscore flying. I don't know if that's a placeholder, but I will leave a link in the description below where you can actually view all the placeholders for the Placeholder API, which will work with any Placeholder API plugin that supports, well, any plugin that supports Placeholder API. So there's a few things. So here, you know what? Let's do this. Vault underscore. Let's see. Let's just do vault group. So, and I'll just put your group is. Okay, and then if we do /dchat reload, I do not recommend doing a /reload because that will cause leaks. So if you actually have to put a plugin in or something, don't do /reload, do a restart. So full restart should work. So let's reload that. So if I were to say hi, okay, so user prefix did not work for some reason, so we're going to fix that. And as you can see, it says my balance is 0. So we're going to see what I did wrong here. User prefix. Let's try changing it to group prefix, I guess. So, yeah, there we go. So if you set it to group prefix, it'll show the prefix. So as you can see, when I hover over certain things, so your group is member, and then shows that. So there is also another feature that I'd like to show you guys, which so there's two things. So let me go to the plugin page right here. So there's two things you can actually do that I noticed that is not actually in the documentation, but you can do. So there's URL, and then there's actually execute. So as you can see, if I were to click this, it does /ranks. If I click this, /message, and if I click this, it does nothing because nothing is set up for it. So if we wanted to do, let's say we wanted to go to URL, and then let's say Google. We wanted to go to Google, right? Okay, so if we do that, and I do /dchat reload, and then I click that, oh, did not work. Let's see. So, it's a little weird, I don't know. Oh wait, that's because I didn't chat. Yeah. So it doesn't actually override on the top ones. But as you can see, it asks me if I want to go to the following link. So I click yes, and it will take me to google.com. Okay, so you can do /dchat, which will give you all the help commands that you can do. So what /message toggle does is basically it toggles your private messaging to off, so no one can private message you. So we're going to toggle that on. So dchat reload, I already went over that. That reloads the config.yml. If you're editing the messages.yml, which all the messages are configurable, I think aside from the help messages, you can actually really customize this because the plugin developer is extended Clip, as he changed his name, which he has some really good plugins when it comes to prison servers and pretty much any server you really want to make. DeluxeChat can be used for any type of server. If you do dchat list, it's going to show all the formats. So right now we only have one format loaded, which is default. So if I do /dchat test, so it's going to show you the format that you would use. So the format name, which would be basically your format, so defaults, and then the message that you want to test. So if I say hi, it's going to look like I said hi as this. Now I'm going to show you how you can create groups. So creating a group, you just go back into your config.yml. And what I usually do is just copy the default group. And let's say I wanted to make a VIP group. So, and we're going to give it a priority of, I don't know, 60. And if we wanted to, so there's a couple ways you can do this. If you have like a suffix for your VIP group, you could potentially put it in depending on your permissions plugin. So depending on your permissions plugin will determine whether you can do certain things. So I'm using permissions X, but I am going to do it manually. So what you can actually do in DeluxeChat, so I wanted to make and a VIP, you can actually do that. That is legal, and you are allowed to do that. So then you actually do have a prefix, and then you actually have the prefix for your donator group pretty much, and then you have your actual prefix. So this is great for like prison servers if you want your VIP group to actually have a prefix, or any donation group that you have. We're going to change the name color. So what these basically do, so name color, that's basically the color of the player's name. Some plugins might override it, like for instance, Chat Color Plus Premium, which recently came out, which I'm kind of working with the developer and working out some of the kinks that the plugin has, but that's going to be for a future video, maybe. But suffix, so you can add anything into the suffix, so I can add anything. So if I wanted to do that, chat color, so that's the chat color that your messages will display. So channel click commands, so just puts the command in chat, or if you do the URL, or if you do execute, it would automatically execute that command. So if you're doing /ranks, you just want it to do /ranks instead of player having to press the enter key, you just put the bracket key execute. It's brackets. So, and then you would have to make sure you put parentheses around it so it doesn't give you any errors. So yeah, so basically these are just basic commands that you, well, basic formats that you can use. You can make as many of these as you want. So I'm going to start another one called, I don't know, moderator. Let's do that. So I want moderator. So let's do mod. And we're going to do chat. We're going to do it as a priority of, I don't know, 30. And if I wanted to have it like this, so in mod, you can actually do that. So the name color, if I wanted to make it, I don't know, and E. Player name, you can actually change this. It doesn't have to be in there, but if you delete it, then you're not going to be displaying a player name, obviously. But what you can actually do is essentials. You can do essentials underscore player underscore display name. So this will basically allow you to actually have like a nick. So let's see. We're gonna see it. So I'm gonna do make some changes here, just so you know that I'm making differences to the chat format, which you can actually obviously tell by the mod prefix, but I'm going to just do a couple changes just to show you that you can actually do these changes. So let's see. Channel, I can't really demonstrate that because you can't really do much with it. So this is the formats. So, but you can create as many groups as you want. The priorities, like, I don't know how they would exactly work as the same priority, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. So I'm going to show you what the use of priorities would be if you're actually like creating a server, which I'm assuming most of you that are watching this video will be creating a server or using DeluxeChat. So dchat reload. So if I do /dchat test, and I want to do, I don't know, the mod group that we created, and I can do hi, as you can see. So essentials underscore player display name didn't work because I didn't have the Pappy eCloud down. The placeholder for essentials. So you just do essentials, and then I just do Pappy reload, and let's see if it works. Yep, see? So that's what it's saying my nickname is. Well, no, that's not actually. Sorry, that's a mistake by me. But if I were to do that, display name does not work. But let's see if we can do nickname. Oh wait, I know why it didn't work. Let's just get rid of this player. So if I were to test it, display name's still not working. Let's see if we can change it to nickname. So I don't have these placeholders memorized, so that's the problem with why that I'm doing this. But didn't do dchat reload. Yeah, so there we go. So if I were to nick myself and 6 and that, as you see, it shows my nickname. So now if you were to like create groups, so the permissions I would show you. So say I wanted to create, so I'm going to create a VIP group real quick, and then I'm going to create a mod group. So as soon as I create that, so pex group VIP add. So if you don't know pex, I will eventually go through a tutorial, but I'll link a tutorial in the description that's fairly up to date. But I'm going to do pex group VIP add, and let's do chat format .vip. So what that means, so the VIP right there, so chat format .star would give you all the chat formats. That's not what you really want. So basically what you want is the VIP. So whatever you name this is what it's going to be at the end of your chat format dot. So whatever this, so basically it would be chat format dot and then your format. So that should be self-explanatory. So what I usually do actually is, so I will usually negate all the groups and then add that. So I'm going to remove group VIP, remove chat format.vip, because it will interfere. So if you do chat format.star, so if you actually negate it, which would just be doing that, oh, we removed, we didn't add. But if you negate it, and then you add chat format.vip, so then if we just look to make sure everything's working properly with the VIP, if PEX group VIP, you will see that it says chat format. So you have to make sure this is above the negation, otherwise it's not going to work. So, and I spelled format wrong, whatever. But anyways, so if you were to do that, now say I wanted, so if I said hi, I'm still a member. So if I do, and you can see I can add anything. So if I were to do PEX user Star Wars Freak 209 group set, and I set myself to VIP, and I say hi, as you can see, it doesn't actually have that prefix because I'm not actually in a group of member, or in a group, really, period, besides VIP. Now, you can, as you can see, it does that. Now, another thing I do recommend you set up is your, pretty much, basically your weights for your groups. So I believe it is the, lower the weights, the more it overrides. So the lower the weight, the more it overrides. So member, we're going to do 100, okay, PEX group member set weight 100. So we're going to set the group weight for member as 100. Then we're going to set the weights of VIP, I guess, to 50. And then we're going to set, I don't know, mod to 25. So if we do that, what it does is basically allows it to override. So for instance, member will not override, well, moderator should override VIP as VIP should override member. Now if you're actually like making a prison server and you're doing A, B, C, D, and so on, and you want your donation groups to actually like keep ranking up and doing all that, I would recommend you set the weights to actually be lower than your VIP group. Now this might interfere with permissions depending on what permissions you have, but I do not recommend like negating permissions really in your default group. Like the default group, as you can see, I didn't negate chat format .star, but if you were like the opt, then it would give you the highest chat format. So I'm going to do PEX user stars freak group add member. So now if I say hi, it's not working. Yeah, I know why, because the weights, because VIP overrides. So that's why you would want to set. So if I were to actually set PEX user group, PEX group member weight set weight, and then I were to set it to, I don't know, 15. And I say hi. As you can see, now it actually shows up as member. So basically that's just working with the permissions X weight system. It's really handy when you actually have that, because then you can actually promote and demote if you actually set it to that, which is doing with ladders, which if I were to make a tutorial on permissions X, I would demonstrate. But yeah, you can pretty much do any chat group you want. So you want to make sure that everything is like, so like this, don't just ignore that chat format .vip. Oh, that's interesting. But you can, so make sure you do this command first, just chat format .start, and don't do it on your default group. So for instance, A, you don't want to do. You don't actually, so if I were to do ABC, so let's say I had like a rank ups plugin and I did ABC, you don't actually need to create an A, B, C, D, and so on, so forth group. You can actually just use the default group and then set the prefix, and then it will just work that way. There are a few ways you can actually change things as well. So for instance, for VIP, if you want to make it one group, it depends really on your group, your chat formatting plugin, but you could also put it as a suffix and put it in there. So pretty much messages.yml, you can change everything. I'm going to get into the up here. So basically, so you can check for updates. It's self-explanatory. It checks for updates and it will alert you if there's no updates. So if you have bungee cord enabled, yeah, if you have bungee cord enabled, you can actually so the server name, you can change it. I don't know why I would say server. I think you can change it to a bungee cord name of a server, because I'm pretty sure Placeholder API has a bungee cord option. So if you join global, so I believe that would mean that you're in the global chat. I have not really tested this plugin with bungee cord yet, so that's why I don't really entirely know everything that goes on. I don't know what relation placeholders enabled really does. I'm guessing it would mean that like certain placeholders, I think maybe like the default placeholders for DeluxeChat work for like instance like recipient. So then Boolean. So Boolean is like true or false. So you can change that to anything you really want, I guess. Ops use group formats. You can say false or true. Doesn't really matter. Basically, it's just saying that the ops would actually be using the group formats or not. The chat filter. So this is pretty much like a swear filter. So it's nice if you don't have like an anti-swear plugin. You can add every single thing automatically through here. Private messages. So if you do /PM/message or any of those types of commands that you do for messaging, you can actually do this. So bungee cord option, you can message over bungee cord servers. Enabled, that means if you want to have it enabled or disabled. So the format says this, so don't know if this is working currently. I can actually check that right now. So I'm going to get onto an alt account and I'm going to test it for you guys real quick. So if I were to do /message Extunia hi, so yeah, that works. But if we were to go here and look at our message, that works. So it does work. It works completely fine. So the default format looks like he updated it so it actually works. So you can pretty much change this how you want. So if you wanted it to have display the prefix of the member, so if you want to display the prefix of a recipient, you do recipient, and then you do the placeholder of what you want. So for instance, if I wanted to vault _group prefix, and then I did that, and then let's say the name, and then we save that, and then I DChat reloaded this, and I /message Extunia hi, so it doesn't show that, the prefix for them, but I don't think they're actually in a default group, so let's change that real quick. So pex user Extunia group set member, and then we're going to do that. So as you see, it says member and then Extunia, which is their name. So you can change that pretty much to any way you want. So sure. So to recipients, that's the same thing. And you got the click commands, so you can do R. You can say whatever you want really in the tooltip. So it's just basically the same as the tooltips below. Social spy. So if you do /social spy, it will actually toggle social spy. That means you can view other players' messages that they're sending. So you can't view yourself and when you're messaging someone, which is good because Essentials does that, and it kind of will get a little spammy for you. But you can actually view what people are saying in spy chat. So that's pretty much it, I think, for what you can do with DeluxeChat. I do recommend it as a plugin. It's a really great plugin. You can change pretty much anything you want. You can set it's really customizable. So if you wanted to add lines to the tooltips, I guess that's the only thing I could really explain to you guys that you might get confused on, is you can just do that. That works just fine like that. So, but you don't want to delete the channel tooltips. I don't believe it will work if you delete them all. But I think that's pretty much it. You do need to actually keep the default group. If you don't keep the default group in this, so the default format, you can't, then it's not going to work out. So this plugin is not going to work well because of the fact that there's no default group. So it's going to glitch out, bug out, and then you're going to be complaining. It does also tell you to download the expansion for player. So it tells you a lot of things up here that you should be able to follow through. So as you see, they have their example member right there. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this plugin review. So I hope you all enjoyed the review. I did this review mainly because there was no updated reviews on DeluxeChat, and I think there should be more updated reviews, honestly. But hey, I don't know. Anyways, DeluxeChat would recommend it to anyone that's looking for a nice chat forming plugin that can do pretty much all the things that were just explained in this video. The developer is really nice, he's really active, so if you have any questions you can just ask him and he should be able to help you out. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next tutorial.